Bluetooth 5.0 transmitter.
Hey, what's up? Came in late. Had a little audio issue there, but we're doing Street Fight tonight, Wednesday. Twitch.tv/Street Fight Radio. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, friends, family, fiends, foes, fools, anybody that wants to jump in, come hang with the gang, act orangutan. We're always here every single week. We want to hear from you Sunday nights, 8 to 10. Come hang. Come let us know what's going on in the world. Tell us about killing bugs. Tell us what it's really like. Give us the down low. Thank you for being here, everybody.
That bug guy. Still thinking about the bug guy to this day. I've been thinking about him all week.
Yeah. It's a rough go.
That is truly, for people that didn't hear the call-in show on Sunday, we had somebody call in that I'm surprised we didn't have an exterminator ever call. Right? Isn't it weird? Over, like 5 years of doing the call-in show and with our listeners that we've never had a exterminator call in. And it sounds like a hellish job. And I said some extremely stupid stuff while he was on the air. So
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I actually got home and was talking to my wife about it, and she was like, "Well, no," because I had said the best case scenario is bed bugs.
Okay, that's the goal.
She pointed out that ants is probably a best case scenario.
Yeah, ants keep to themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here.
Definitely.
We are pro-abortion, right?
Absolutely.
We gotta do that right at the beginning of the show. Boy, that sucks, huh?
Yeah, this Saturday, 2 p.m. if you're in Ohio, head to the State House. Everybody's going to be there. That's the big protest. Last night there was like a rapid response, but the weather was so fucking bad and there was lightning and shit. And I was driving down there and the lightning was going and I'm like, I couldn't. No. But people stayed. I think people waited for it to die down, and they went in front of the Supreme Court, which is fucking awesome. I saw the LAPD was beating the shit out of people like usual. They came to play like immediately. They were just like, it's guns and bombs and shields and all the stuff you know.
What did I see? And maybe the people in the chat can help me remember this. But I did see something where like 3 people showed up to protest a couple weeks ago and the cops fucking swarmed. Like they were in their riot gear lined up all the way across the street just like a regular...
Right.
Like if there were thousands of people. I think it was in LA. And it was fucking crazy. I saw that. I couldn't believe it. But I could believe it.
Yeah, they found somebody's Facebook post. Somebody made a Facebook event, and they were like, oh, shit, it's going down.
Scared the shit out of them, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. I don't understand exactly what's happening, but it sounds very bad. Like, I know that a thing came out from the Supreme Court, which basically... Every Supreme Court ruling I hear is worse than the last one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to digest this whole thing. But apparently it is a draft. So they kind of showed their work. I guess they're wondering how violent people are going to get or what the response is going to be like. I don't know why they would release this information early,
Did you see
that? Because I saw TikToks today that they were like, Roe versus Wade is overturned, you know? But that's not the scenario. Not that I don't believe it's going to happen, but I think we got to break a lot of windows to make it not happen.
Yeah. It was Homeland Security in LA that showed up. Like, super...
Hardcore.
Just jacked up, man.
Ready to fuck them up.
Steroids and just standing across from 3 guys in T-shirts or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really terrifying because, to think that the crazy fucking religious people and all the conservatives have made a lot of headway in a country that bullies everybody else, Like, this is such an uncivilized way to fucking live. The rest of the world is not having these kind of revelations the way that they've been able to grab hold. But I think it's also because like we are just treated like cattle and it's very easy to just go with the flow and you can't find people that are ready to break windows. Like I want there to be another mass uprising and I hope that it happens with this, because that's exactly what we need.
Man, and I'll say this, I feel currently right now, I feel like better than I have in a long time, like anxiety and mental health wise. But as far as like America, I am just as bad as ever. It's black pill. I am so just like,
still,
we can't fucking fix this thing. It's just fucking shitty, man.
Well, I'll tell you where I'm at, because I'm in a similar vein. I've been taking the Wellbutrin now. I've been journaling like every day, like 5 out of 7 days. I'm journaling, and for me, this was like, I was glad to get to go out and do something, because I think just confronting it firsthand, I don't believe a lot in voting. I don't believe a lot in anything else except for everybody being out there and saying no to this shit. I mean, the Latin American countries have showed us, if you throw a big party on the lawn of the Capitol, they fucking go away. You can get rid of them.
I guess, yeah. I mean, voting is definitely not going to fix anything. I mean, there's a Democrat, pro-choice Democrat in office currently as the president, and nothing's his fault, which is, I've been thinking about this for 2 days, right? This kind of shit happens every time there's a Democrat as the president. This kind of shit happens. Gas is $4 a gallon, and who knows how high that's gonna fucking go. Box of cereal's like $12 fucking dollars. I fucking saw breakfast bars yesterday, right? These breakfast bars.
Belvitas?
No. Well, yeah, in a way. You know what I mean? But it was like a fancy kind. I wish I could remember the name of it. But $12.99 for 6 of them.
Woo!
At the fucking grocery store. It wasn't a fucking, like, Instagram brand, or it wasn't being mailed to my house.
Right.
There was no reason it should be $12.99. That shit was $12.99. And like, now Roe versus Wade looks like it's gonna get overturned. Trans people are under attack, and it's like, is anything there? They're all like, well, Joe Biden can't do nothing about that. And it's like, then what the fuck do we vote for? What's the fucking point? It just feels like nothing's his fault. It really makes me sick that one side is like, everything's his fault. He fucked everything up. And the other side's like, nothing's his fault. He didn't do anything wrong. Shit just is fucked up. And it's like, I don't fucking, I can't even be, they don't take responsibility. The Democrats make me sick because they don't take responsibility.
And there's so many receipts.
Yeah.
Nancy Pelosi's daughter got fucking dragged. Got cut the fuck up so bad.
Yeah.
So much evidence of Nancy Pelosi saying she didn't want it. She thought it was a bad idea to be pro-choice. You've got Obama back in the day saying that he was going to do this immediately, and then saying he didn't really see a reason to. Like, they actually don't believe any of that. They're not willing to stand up for it and make it happen.
And your life just keeps getting worse. And you've got these people that are like, well, that's not our fault. Well, let me fucking tell you something, okay? People are going to vote this year in the midterms, and people are going to vote in 2024, and they're going to be thinking, why is everything more expensive?
Yeah.
Why is abortion illegal? Why is this? Why is that? Why are all these things going on? And you can fucking sit and tell them it's not Joe Biden's fault. It's not the Democrats' fault. But guess fucking what, man? Try to convince them of that. I made a joke on Twitter today about how the Democrats are looking for volunteers to stand at gas pumps with the "I did this" sign of Joe Biden to explain why it's not Joe Biden's fault. Like, as
no
a
way.
joke. No, it was just me joking.
Sure,
but that's, I mean, what is
that's all
your
they got.
expectation for a fucking, what is the expectation for how they will ever be able to explain away everything being significantly worse right now? And maybe it's Trump's fault. I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? But I'm saying that, like, regular ass people look at who the president is, the most powerful person in the fucking world, and they look at that guy and he's the guy. It's his fault. And all they're saying is, not my fault. I didn't fucking do it. I don't know, man. What am I supposed to do? It's the Supreme Court. And it fucking just pisses me off, man. Because now you're gonna have people going door to door to knock on the door and tell somebody like, oh yeah, the Whopper is $25 now, but that doesn't have anything to fucking do with the people that are actually in fucking charge. You know?
Yeah. Well, I feel like for me, it's a repeat of. I mean, the Republicans are more evil than the Democrats. I do believe that wholeheartedly. I would love for like Bill Burr to be the right wing of this country. Like, that's the kind of Democrat that's like the worst of the worst. But yeah, I mean, they did the same thing with like, they handed Obama like a horrible situation. I'm sure Trump did something, was letting a lot of people cut deals. And Democrats always take this fucking stinking pile of shit and aren't willing to like get rid of it or be bold about it or anything like that. And you have like this is the problem, is that people are like, oh, Trump is Adolf Hitler. And it's like, no, the conservative party, the Republicans are Adolf Hitler. They're the ones handing down like the fascism, because getting rid of Roe versus Wade is going to that's their foot in the door. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're going after every alternative lifestyle they want to fucking make criminal again. Mm-hmm. They want to go back to 1955. Yeah,
they want us dead. And we don't have anybody. Well, not me. I mean, they don't want me dead. They're just like, well, fuck it, you know. He don't.
Well, sympathizers. I mean,
yeah, but yeah, they want a lot of people that listen to this show dead, and I don't know.
They're making headway. They've done all the right things. I mean, and even with the abortions, I mean, a lot of the companies that make money off of abortions are like just raising money right now, and it's like, you should be telling people to burn stuff to the ground
or what to do. At least, like, it's just what when the money gets there, like. Money to me feels like the best use of money at this point is going to be to get people to the places where they'll be able to get abortions.
I think the best use of money right now is facilitating a sustained response on the steps of every capital in this fucking country. I feel like you should have a tent set up that can feed people 24/7 so that there's a pressure 24/7 on these fucking people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that is,
the Democrats are horrible. They're fucking losers, and they're nothing to look to.
They suck shit. And this Sunday, we'll have people call in and talk about this stuff a lot more eloquently than me and Brett. We have Rax coming in, that can talk about this stuff, and it'll be. I mean, this isn't all we're gonna say, on the subject, but we are. First of all, there's a chat thing by Cool Kyle 182.
Okay.
Breakfast Blondies. I need to make an announcement for everybody. I'm done with the Blondies.
Wow.
And let me tell you something. I got 6 packs of them at my house right now. I have like $35 worth of Blondies at my house. Don't do that.
That's how you spoil it. Everybody knows when you buy in bulk, you don't want it.
I fucking drove to Meijer the other day, and I saw the Blondies. You have never seen me happier than when I saw those Blondies at the place, and I said, I'm buying all of them. I will buy and I bought every one of them. After that, I went to the gas station by my house to get a Gatorade.
Okay.
I bought all the Blondies they had there.
No!
I did.
Wow, you went overboard.
And now I'm like ashamed. Because, like, I have all these Blondies, and my wife knows how expensive these Blondies, because they're not cheap. They're like a boutique brand.
Boutique Blondie.
And I'm not trying to eat them.
Not boutique. It's pretty lowbrow, because they're called hot blondes.
Yeah, but they're expensive. Right?
Pricey.
Like, that's the thing, is, like, they're not a cheap version of... They're not like Keebler.
Sure.
No,
they're artisanal.
Which is...
Maybe we do a Blondie lottery or something?
I mean, they'll be bad.
Do you need to get rid of them?
They'll be bad by the time we can mail them to anybody.
They're that fresh that they have a...
I mean, they're the shit they make. They're like made...
Someone made them at their house.
Yeah, they're like organic type shits. You know what I mean? They're going to fucking spoil. And you know what I did yesterday? I am now officially update the spreadsheets a 100 grand guy.
Oh, they're the bomb. Yeah. My mom told me about them a long time ago. Yeah, that's one of those perfect candies. The crispiness, caramel. Caramel goes good every fucking way you get it.
Yeah.
The crispiness is so nice though.
Which is like, I'm like, what? Why is 100 grand is such an odd thing to be into? Nobody. I did post this yesterday, and a lot of people said that's underrated candy. And I was just like, when I was buying them, I thought it was old people. Like old style shit.
Yeah.
It's not like for people of my it's for the people 2 generations before me. 100 brands.
That's a great. I say continue that school of thought. Tell all your children it's only for old people, and then proudly say I'm an old person that loves 100 brands because it's great. People always hand them over to me.
Yeah,
they're like, ew, I don't know, it's a little too ritzy for my blood. And it's like I love them.
I'm a fiend for those things, man.
Them sleeves. Remember the sleeves of 10? Yeah. You get like a whole pile of sleeves. Yeah. Back in my early days, I would definitely get a sleeve of 100 grands.
Yeah. So now I'm buying a candy. There's one step up from Zagnuts.
Yeah.
Also came really close to.
We got Werther's in the middle.
I almost came really close to getting into Score, the SKOR.
Yeah, that's not a bad treat.
Yeah.
The white chocolate one.
So that is, yep. The Blondies are dead. I don't know how I'm going to handle the Blondies at this point. I think I was thinking yesterday, I can throw them away and then tell my wife that they went bad. Like, oh, I tried to eat one yesterday and, it was stale
it was spoiled,
and bad.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have bought so many. Yeah. It was just.
What's the best by dates on? Did you check them?
I don't want to know because I don't want to eat them anymore. Like every time I went to do a snack, when all I had was the Blondies, I was like, I don't even really want a snack. They don't even sound good.
Oh, no. You're awful.
I can't.
Get a backpack or, just carry some in your pocket and maybe hand them out. That might be a little way to spread some fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No preservatives, as somebody mentioned in the chat. What I mean is no preservatives. I don't think they have preservatives in them.
That's
so. I shouldn't even.
Don't sell a goddamn Blondie in a gas station if it ain't got preservatives.
I shouldn't have bought that many, dude. It was I gotta stop doing that, man. It was like last summer when we got to the end of the caramello craze, and I had 65 caramellos in my refrigerator.
Yeah. I just got a bunch of Dunkaroos from Ollie's for $1.99 because they expired at the end of last month. I fucking love that. I was also thinking, I was at Ollie's this week and cutting it up with the cashier. And the discount place has got the best cashiers. They always will talk to you like Mark's, Mark's, Ollie's, Gabe's. I feel like they're the worst cashiers because their impulse is always to start a conversation. I feel like management doesn't want that. Right?
I'll tell you that
I love discount cashiers.
I've talked about this with Marks in the past, but there was a guy that would comment on all your stuff, and I hated it.
You're no fun.
I don't need somebody telling me, because I bought Star Wars fruit snacks, not because I love Star Wars, but because I love fruit snacks. I don't care what the IP is. I think they were on sale, and this guy's talking to me about Star Wars while I'm in line, and I'm just like, yeah, I just bought the snacks for the fruit snack part of it, and then he was like, oh, so what do you like about fruit snack? I just don't like when people comment on my stuff. I
think they're the worst cashiers.
Yeah.
That's why they end up at the discount. I think that, I don't know. I love them. That's my people.
Well,
I prefer that.
Yeah.
I prefer commenting on everything.
I don't, because it could get, I don't know. I don't want the guy next to me hearing about what I'm doing. That's why I use the U-Scan, right? And the thing I don't like about the U-Scan is when it says produce, when you put produce on and it yells out what the fuck kind of produce you're buying. Oh, weigh your apples. And now everybody around knows I'm buying apples. I just don't like that kind of stuff.
I love it. I know one of my favorite things that Rachel does is whenever I'm like milling around looking at candy by the aisle, all of a sudden I hear her talking to the cashier like, "Yep, I'm gonna be at the pool this summer. Can't wait." And it's like, I love it. I love the cutting it up at the register.
Yeah,
Telling jokes.
Yeah, yeah, that is. I mean, you're right about that. I should be more like that, and maybe the new ketamine Brian will be like that from now on. You know, I haven't been tested yet.
I guess it's not for everybody. Just I like that. I do feel like those people can't cut it at most other stores because they want you to be silently scanning as fast as fucking possible.
Yeah, I mean,
you lose the personality.
I also think that like people at like Kroger and shit are like, you look at Aldi, okay? The cashier gets to sit in a chair all day, which I would hate, by the way. I don't want to be sitting, but
sure.
They sit in a chair. It's almost like they're forced to sit in a chair too, because it's too short. You couldn't stand up and
I bet you could.
I don't know how. Maybe you could adjust. Maybe they have an adjustable desk situation there, but they sit down and they're working. It's like, that's nice. At Kroger, I mean, if you're on the clock, you ain't sitting down, man.
Right.
At all. At all. If you have to kneel down to get something, your butt better not touch the floor.
Right.
So I think that is like one of those things that makes those people a little more happy. They're less busy. Like,
I think chair should be optional. I think Aldi people could stand. I'm pretty sure they could.
It looks like
it would not
really
look that
hard.
way.
It wouldn't be ergonomic at all to stand there, to me.
You think you're bending down?
Yeah, well, I think you're on... Okay, so I think you're on a platform.
That low?
No.
Show me your hand where you really think it is.
I'm going to put it up in the thing. I think you're on a platform. We're talking about this high, right?
Uh-huh.
We're talking about platform.
There's no platform. It's flat on the ground.
I swear, the cashier sign of it.
An Aldi?
I'm 90% sure.
That people is on the flat ass ground.
Okay, so you have the conveyor belt at Aldi, right? And you put everything on it, and then they just toss it in a fucking cart. Like,
no, they just...
Yeah, they're quick as fuck. They're quick as fuck.
They just, like, underarm tuck it.
But I always was under the impression that on the other side, where I'm talking to the cashier from this side, right? They're the same height as me, even though they're sitting down. I've always noticed that.
It's called bar stool.
But I thought they were on like a platform that's just a little bit off the ground, and they're sitting in a chair. That if they had to get up, they would be bending down and doing the thing. I don't think it's set up so they can stand.
We're gonna have to investigate all these cashiers.
I'm going to.
I think you could stand and do it, but they probably don't want to.
Yeah. I think some people might want to. That's why they make standing desks now.
Yeah.
People love it. I would do a standing desk. If I was working in an office now, I would be Brian standing. They'd be like, that's the standing desk guy.
Sure.
You know, I'd sit on one of those balls.
I used to like to pace when I did calls, when I did sales, customer service, any of that. Phone stuff, I'm always just like pacing back and forth, just walking in circles.
Makes you feel like you're working in a boiler room. Like,
yeah.
saying, buy, sell.
I did a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I pace whenever I'm on the phone. I mean, I walk circles. I walk a hole into the ground if I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
Just pacing the kitchen table.
Yeah, I think that like I just think like Brian does random jobs. Hey, I've done random jobs, okay? Hot tits.
You need to verify.
You should get a Patreon where Brian does random jobs.
You should get the Aldi cashier job.
I mean, it pays well. We know that. It's like $17 an hour at Aldi.
Yeah, I don't know. The numbers near me are 13 to start and 17 for managers.
Yeah. Oh, desks with treadmills would fucking rule my... I would have never quit. I don't think I would have quit the call center if, like, they put me on a Peloton while I was working or something.
They have that, though. I mean, there's been forever. I think since the 80s now, you can get, for under your desk, you can get a bicycle pedals that you could just run in place while you're fucking working, just pedaling away.
Yeah. I mean, I would sit on the ball. I don't really like sitting on the ball.
Sitting on the ball is too much.
You think so?
That's intense to do all day. I mean, it's a good... You can't store it anywhere, but spending a whole day of work balancing on top of a ball is going to wear your fucking sides out real quick.
Yeah. I've seen
need
people
support.
doing it, though. Sitting on the ball. What if you sat on the ball 4 hours and then sat in a chair the other 4? Sit on a ball, everybody. Let's try sitting on. I'm going to bring a ball. I have a ball at home that is just taking up space in my office. Maybe when I record at home from now on, I'll sit on the ball and see if that works for me. It's hard, though, because I got to talk in a microphone.
Right.
You know? So I can't sit on the ball. But
Beyonce does it. Beyonce sings and also dances like crazy.
Yeah. Well, if I had that one of those things... a headset mic.
A headset.
Yeah, then I could sit on a ball and everybody would be so happy about that. Like I think sitting on the ball seems like the next big step for me.
I remember in the early 2000s, I don't know how my dad got it, usually stolen stuff or a friend of a friend or maybe trash. Did you ever see one of those like chairs that you kind of kneel in? That you put your knees for. It's supposed to be ergonomic. You like rest on your knees and there's like a little support seat for your butt, but you're mostly like, it's a very weird position.
It's like the worst thing in the world to me.
We had one of those and tried to use that at the computer and it was ridiculous, but it sounded like one of those, in the future, people are going to be sitting on their knees while they use the computer.
It's like when the hostile architecture that you've seen where there's like benches, but they slant down, so you're kind of standing up.
Oh yeah, you can't really. Yeah, it's just a leaning bench. You just kick your hip out type bench.
And why the fuck would they make that? That is like, I know they don't want homeless people sitting on it, but that's also something you're doing to me.
Yeah, you're doing it to pregnant people. You're doing it to people with disabilities, people that are on crutches. Like, yeah, you're fucking everybody here.
I was talking about this recently while I was out on one of my walk. Me and my wife went to take a walk, and we were talking about this. Where she works, she's on the corner of a busy street, right? I guess I just said it, Nationwide Arena. We're right by the arena, and it's like she works on the corner of a place in downtown, and sometimes I'll walk and visit her while I'm out on my walk. I'll stop by and say, hey, how you doing? And then take off. And there is a ledge all the way around the building.
Okay.
But the EVP sits in an office that faces the street on the bottom floor.
Okay.
And if you sit on the wall, the EVP calls security and makes the security guard come out and say, you're not allowed to sit on the wall. You're never allowed to sit on the wall.
It's a decorative wall, not a functional leaning wall.
Yeah,
this is not a place to rest.
And it really pisses me off to think about, because it's like, this fucking guy, this like one guy controls this whole block. Basically.
Right.
Like the whole block is a wall. One guy has decided, I don't like people sitting on a wall.
He's got goons.
He does?
He's got goons to shut him down.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't get to control the outside. That's what makes
he does.
He does.
That's the world we're in.
I know.
Some weird guy gets to control the outside.
It's also like the food truck thing there. You're not allowed to have a food truck there.
Uh-huh.
Because Sodexo runs that block.
Okay.
So anywhere
that's their territory.
That's their territory.
Legal
anywhere
territory.
Around, you can't have a food truck.
You can't compete with the cafeteria.
Yeah. And I just can't believe how much. It's one guy, dude. It's one fucking guy that's just like, we'll have Sodexo in the place, and we will, you're definitely not sitting on that wall. You do not sit there. Do not get comfortable at all. Stand up. So,
I mean, I feel like also if I was a supervillain prick like that guy, wouldn't you want to look at the little ants that you can smush out? Like, wouldn't you want to see a little family go by and think about how you could strip the paycheck away from them and send them into turmoil? Like when you want to do like some Lex Luthor shit, and look at all the heathens and filthy masses.
Well, even Doc Coleman in a chat says, I would want gatherings so I could people watch. And that
that's the best part. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Making it super uncomfortable to be out there and sending a security guard. I mean, he gets you 2 minutes after you sit down, dude. He comes in. Like, if you went
that
there,
quick.
If you went where I'm talking about and you sat on that wall, they would get you in less than 5 minutes.
I'm interested. Maybe I'll go kicked off that wall.
I have been kicked off that wall 50 times.
To go kicked off the wall.
I get kicked off it all the fucking time, man. And it's really weird. So that is that's wall talk. with Street Fight Radio. Brett, you said you have a guy for me.
I do, yeah. You're always bringing guys to me. And this week I did the Rock Hard Caucus podcast. Justin Comer, good friend of mine, has been listening to the show forever and, you know, supporting for a real long time. Had me on, not us. Had me on. And he went to Arrowid, the famous drug vault website, and he looked up Iowa, and he found a guy. And this guy had a really unfortunate situation happen. It's a weird guy, but then something unfortunate happens. It's a wild fucking story. And as soon as I was done, I was like, I wanted to hear Brian, what he thinks was about this situation.
Let's hear it.
So if you want to hear me, head to Rock Hard Caucus, their most recent episode. I'm on there. We did 3 of these stories, but this is so fucking funny to me. You ready?
Yep.
The title of it is The Bad Candy Flip by Scotto.
Okay.
Most people report the candy flip, LSD and MDMA combination, to be a very enjoyable experience. The most rewardingly cosmic aspects of the LSD are combined with the empathogenic love of the MDMA to create a unique and often powerful experience. This is usually the case with me as well, provided I take a low dose of LSD with a regular dose of MDMA. For example, too much LSD can blow the MDA out of the water, MDMA, which is a waste of MDMA. All right.
Okay.
Did you go to Irwin? Did you ever use it?
To Irwin, yes. Yes.
I use it all the time. I would always read like extensively about people's experiences.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have this. They always put the body weight in there too, so that you know like how bad it fucks you up depending on how big you are.
I use it for prescription drugs.
Really?
Yeah. Like if like I find a pill or if somebody offers me a pill, I'm like, I'm gonna go check on Arrowhead to see if it's worth doing. You know?
Right. However, I feel obliged to report one very negative experience I had during a candy flip many years ago when I was living in Cedar Falls, Iowa. The report mainly serves to underscore the importance of set and setting. Also stands as a reminder that, as Alexander Shulgin says, there are no insignificant psychedelic experiences. All right?
Yeah.
All right, so this is where it gets at. I just want to hear what you think about this initial plan from this guy. I was hoping to do a rather deep exploration that night and had invited my good friend H over to sit for me. His instructions were to sit quietly in the same room as me and intercede only if I really encountered problems.
That is like, you doing that makes
Sus.
you a bad friend, right? Like you being like, hey, come sit in my house and like look at this. Reminds me of my ketamine treatment.
It is.
The lady just sitting next to me and then we'll be like, as soon as I talk.
I felt the same way. It's like, usually you would say, hey, I have some LSD and MDMA. Let's take it together and see what happens, right?
You got to keep it down over there, buddy.
He asked somebody to come and just watch him, but also not even like allowed to like have fun, you know, or like be involved. Just be a fly on the wall. Mm-hmm. It's very weird inclination for me.
I hate it. I hate that idea. Like that's such a tough friend to have.
I know. Like, that's a really good friend. But also, it's like, I think you're right though. With ketamine, it's like, okay, give me $500 then.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
I felt this was a reasonable precaution because this was only my second candy flip, and I was still at the time relatively inexperienced with both LSD and MDMA. I didn't expect trouble as I was feeling good and confident about myself at the time, but I figured it wouldn't hurt to have H around, someone who knew me very well and could handle me if I got into a bad space.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
H is there.
H is strong.
Doing it right.
Would you do that for somebody?
Nope.
You wouldn't? If somebody's talking about get super fucked up?
I mean, if they paid me some money, I might, but no.
Trip sitting.
I mean, what am I going to fucking do?
I would trip sit for money. God, that would be so good.
No, that's what I'm saying. If they gave me money and like made it worth 8 hours, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We're talking about like a couple $100. I would do it then, but like, I don't know, man. I don't need some fucking, I don't want some guy telling me like, hey, this is how you're supposed to act while I do drugs. Like, come to this room. Here's the way I want you to act while I do drugs. It's like, that. I mean, listen, if H did it, what a good friend. H is like a really great person, in my opinion. But like, I don't know, man. I don't think I would do this for I don't think I would even do this for my wife.
What?
I don't think I would.
That's cold-blooded, dude.
I just wouldn't. If she said that, I'd be like, no. I mean, either we're both tripping, or you go find somebody that fucking will do this. Follow your crazy shit, your crazy requirements. Find somebody to do that. It's not gonna be me, you know.
Wow.
I don't like the idea of you not being able to talk.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing that's like, I don't like the attitude of just being like, please be quiet over in the corner. Thank you. You know?
Just observe.
Yeah, it's just, I think it's even almost like, seriously, kind of a nasty thing to ask somebody to do.
I don't know. I feel... go ahead.
And that's why I wouldn't do it for anybody. I wouldn't do it for a single person. There is not a person in this world that I would just be like, yeah, sure, I'll be there. You know?
I kind of am now of thinking of it a little bit like sex work, where if I had a private Snapchat where I could show how fucked up on drugs I get and share it with potential clients, I could offer to like shaman them through the whole thing.
Yes,
I'm sure that's a bad term. I don't know what it is, but be a guide through a trip guide. I would love to have like an app called Trip Guide. And people would pay me to go fucking dose them with drugs and watch them while they do them and just be the spotter, like be the lifeguard.
Well, what you're describing is something that, I mean, even I might consider, like, again, you pay me $200. You're asking me for 8 hours of my fucking
I know,
time,
you're asking
dude.
a whole afternoon to just sit there and twiddle your thumbs and watch somebody be fucking weird on drugs. It's not fun on the outside.
No.
Like, it's not like H is going to have a blast, like watching somebody just lay on the couch with their eyes rolling in the back of their head.
Yeah, no, not doing it. Not doing it for nobody.
And how is H going to match that energy? Right.
No?
All right, well, here's a big turn of events. This is going to make you lose it. At the time, I was writing a book called Melody's Blues and felt pretty involved with some of the characters, to the extent that my psychedelic trips often featured interactions with versions of these characters.
Ooh.
Self-published author, right?
Yeah.
Thinks he's talking to the characters?
Jesus. Okay.
I laid down on the floor under a nice blanket on top of some cushions underneath a blindfold and proceeded to go way, way out there, man. And suddenly found myself sharing a psychedelic bubble of space-time with Melody, the main character in the book.
Can I quickly say?
No.
Like, I personally, and maybe this makes me a horrible fucking person, okay? I hate people that are on drugs. Like, it makes me miserable. It's why I don't go to bars either.
Yeah.
I hate drunk people. I don't even want to fucking be at a bar because everybody there is drunk. And watching somebody say, I'm talking to the character in my book, wouldn't just make me... I wouldn't sit there and laugh at them and think it's like a really fun thing. I would be like, shut the fuck up. I don't need this shit in my life. You talk to Melody, I'm leaving. Why can't Melody watch him? You know?
Yeah. I am on drugs in public constantly, and the number one thing I do is, like, don't act like you're on drugs in public because you get way too fucking comfortable too quick, and I don't want to drag people into the world. I always am an observer. I'm never trying to, like, fuck with squares, you know?
Yeah, I mean, because people like me, we just don't...
we're on different levels.
Want it,
that's why you do it with other people too. Is like if you have 2, 3, 4, 5 of you that are all kind of on the level, you can interact. Like there's moments of sobriety where you can get a Uber or order a drink or order food or something, but you still need like somebody along the ride with you. Like, oh my god, it's fucking wild right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy, also a guy going to talk to Melody. I'm like, what is going on with? What?
Getting horned up, probably.
Yeah. This was not in itself a cause for alarm, but before long, things got incredibly dark and incredibly weird inside my head. The sensation was of being suddenly and vigorously pursued by vast collections of entities that were very specifically bent on doing us grievous harm.
I want to. I'll stop you right here real quick, because my last ketamine treatment was last Thursday. I had a really insane trip.
Oh, really?
It really. I was freaked out for part of it.
Wait, which one?
The last one I did.
Oh, really?
And I was really freaked out for part of it. Like, I fucking kept trying to check the time on my phone. Uh-huh. But then I would see the numbers for the time, and they wouldn't make any sense to me. Like, I didn't know what the numbers meant.
That's dope.
And, like, I kept kind of feeling like I wanted to close my eyes and shit like that. And I'm, like, tripping really hard.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And, when I went to leave, the nurse was like, "Yeah, I just smacked you with a ketamine baseball bat."
Wow.
That's how she described it. And I was like, I mean, I've never felt that way. I've never been that fucked up in my life.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one that, I mean, after that, my anxiety was fucking gone.
Cleared up the blockage.
But like, yeah. I mean, she sat there and looked at me. She was getting paid like $500. To do that, and it was only an hour, but like that was really one of the that was the one that like really, it got dark at times, but
I love it when it gets dark.
Yeah, I survived it. It didn't permanently fuck me up, but I mean that was the only time it got super dark.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a really weird situation, and I would hate it if I would hate it to be the guy that has to bring you back from darkness. The sober guy in the room that has to bring you back from darkness.
That's a lot. That's fucking heavy, man.
Also, what's the chances he doesn't even let you watch TV? Like, you can't even sit there and, like, watch a movie, or because he said be silent. So you can't sit across the room and, like, watch TV or, like, make a coffee, or I guess you could read a book, but there's a fucking guy tripping right next to you. You're never going to be able to read a fucking book,
Right. So we fled through the psychedelic corridors in churning maelstroms of energy, and the terror in me gradually increased over the course of what I'm guessing was a half an hour, maybe more. The intensity continued to build, and it seemed extremely relentless. I could feel them shrieking as they chased us, these horrible alien monsters. I never encountered such mayhem before and was frightened beyond belief. So this guy was trying to go talk to Melody. He was going to try to hump the ground, maybe, he was trying to get frisky with Melody in his mind,
That is such a... This guy is a prop. Like, this guy's a fucking menace.
Yeah.
That's the way I think of this guy. He's a menace. H is a poor soul.
Ready? You ready?
Yep.
At some point, it somehow finally occurred to me to rip the blindfold off and sit up. The room was just as I left it, covered with a few more multicolored swirls than usual. I immediately turned to H, who was staring intently at me. I said, "What the hell is going on?" He replied, "You ingested LSD and MDMA, and you've been candy flipping for an hour and a half or so." Okay. And then he fell silent, and suddenly, this is where it takes a turn, I heard for the first time the sounds coming from the apartment next door. My neighbors were having a horrendous, extremely loud fight, and the screams were clearly audible through the wall.
I mean, sorry, brother. I mean, you got neighbors, and that's part of the... 2 days ago, I was in my kitchen... 2 days ago I got home, there was a baby outside just screaming. We're talking about 3-4 years old.
Yeah.
Non-stop. It didn't stop I was home for a half hour. Gwen was like, "This baby needs to shut the fuck up." And I was just like, it's easy to tune that shit out for me because I lived with a crying baby for a while. And she's like, "This kid's been doing this for an hour since I've been home." So we're 90 minutes into this kid just fucking outside screaming his head off. And I felt there's nothing I can do about that. That is just going to be a thing that is going to happen there. That's what it's like to have neighbors.
Yeah.
So if you want to trip without neighbors,
you got to get a house.
Cabin. You got to go to a cabin.
Cabin or find a place.
You can rent a place. But you can't do it at home, especially with neighbors that close. If you have this, like I said,
he wanted to lay on the ground and hump it while his buddy watched him and made sure he was safe. And then this big fight ruined the whole fucking get together with Melody.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The fucking the crazy amount of requirements this guy has is only going to work if you don't have neighbors. Like, because you can't keep the world quiet just because you're tripping.
Yeah,
you know?
You got to ride it out. You
Yeah,
got to ride the storm out. These sounds had very obviously penetrated my trip. I hadn't given any external signs that I was in trouble, so H had chosen not to intervene. The aggression from next door was much a part of my setting as my preparation and intention, and it pretty much steered my trip. Once again, also, you can't go into a trip and be like, this is how it's going to be and this is what I want to do. It's just never going to be that way. You kind of just have to jump off the cliff and let go and say, we'll see what happens.
There's no controlling.
You got to be okay with the mystery of it all. Mm-hmm. We waited a long time, H9, until the sounds finally died down. Sorry, I'm like running all over myself. Sorry. I was very shaken by my exposure to such violent energy and wasn't sure how to proceed. Eventually, I put on some incredibly soothing music and laid down. Within minutes, was sucked back into a very peaceful and magical place, about which I've written elsewhere. So
well, good for him.
This is a guy.
You know? Yeah, that's a guy. That's a guy with just like, he's the worst friend I've ever heard of.
Yeah, I agree.
Just, I don't like this idea that, like, I am going to fucking control every part of my environment because I'm on drugs. Where it's like, honestly, you don't get to do that. And that's part of doing drugs.
He treated his friend like an employee. Yeah. Like he could just hire him.
Yeah.
You're my friend, right? You'll do work. You'll do labor for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Just please let me come in and get some hangout.
Melody's Blues. He was going to cheer up Melody's Blues, just fucking in his mind, flipped off of fucking ecstasy, just having mental fucking ego death sex with Melody.
Oh, do I hate him. Oh, do I hate his guts. So I have a guy.
Wow, there's lots of guys this week.
Oh, there's a guy. All right. I'm going to tell you. This guy is in Ohio. He just was a dark horse candidate for Ohio House or something like that. I got to look him up because the article's paywalled.
Oh, no.
Now. So, but I can get it because I have the paywall jumper. I'm a paywall jumper. But this guy is going to be holding political office. Maybe he's in an election. Okay, he's part of an election. I got this from a buddy of mine, Will Summer, who is who's a really cool dude that writes for the Daily Beast. I went on his podcast to talk about somebody, right? Like I went and talked about Man Cow. Man Cow. Oh yeah,
well, guys that are dudes.
That's my favorite thing to talk about is guys. So I talked to him about Man Cow. It was really good. I'm okay. So this guy is a QAnon congressman. A QAnon supporter won an upset victory in a Republican House primary in Ohio on Tuesday, putting him on a path to become the third backer of the conspiracy theory in Congress. Trump devotee J.R. Majewski is an employee of a nuclear power company, first gained prominence on the right in 2020 by painting a 19,000 square foot Trump campaign sign on his lawn.
Wow.
He leveraged that attention and a laudatory tweet from Trump to run for Ohio's 9th congressional district, winning 35% of the vote and beating 2 Republican state representatives in Tuesday's primary for the right to face Rep. Marcy Kaptur. So this guy, the thing that got me to look into this guy, right? I love the yard thing that he painted on his yard.
Yeah. 19,000 square feet. Impressive.
It's huge. I saw the picture of it. It's so huge, dude. And he is the FBI. Okay, well, no. In 2020, Majewski wore a white shirt bearing a Q during a local television interview about his yard painting. Majewski even incorporated QAnon into his painting, turning the zeros in the signs in 2020 into Qs. Liberal watchdog group Media Matters has compiled multiple instances of Majewski using QAnon slogans like WWG1GA, short for the QAnon slogan, where we go one, we go all. In April 2021, in an interview with the Toledo Blade, Majewski denied supporting QAnon. He said he had donated a Q shirt from his television interview to charity and never read the anonymous online clues that make up the conspiracy theory dubbed Q drops. I've never read any Q drop. What they call the Q drop, Majewski told the paper. So he went around doing Q shit for years.
Qing.
Okay? But now, because that's a liability when you're running for, especially in Ohio. I mean, there's a lot of Trump people here, but our Republicans, well, I don't know if I can say they tend to be more moderate, but I don't know about that. I think I'm full of shit there.
I mean, I have the temperature of my family, which are not, they're like good old boys and gals, like regular old red state Republicans, like, no, we should be Republican because it makes it hard for bad people.
Yeah.
I don't think my family believes in blood cabals. I know my cousin does, but I think my Republican in-laws and ex-laws, whatever you call them now, I think they're just into good old fashioned. It should be hard to live because that inspires people.
Well, I have some good news, Brett. This guy also has another job that he started, and that is rapper.
Okay. Is this a first?
He is.
Have we had a rapper in Congress before?
I don't know. That's a good point.
I guess not. They would have told us over and over again.
Yeah. I don't think we've ever had a rapper in Congress. That's a good point. You would have thought the Democrats would get the first rapper. Not being like racist or anything, but
Yeah, it's a lot smaller pool of competition when you do right-wing rap, though. I mean,
Republicans love rap, though.
Oh, they're so into it.
They
want to feel cool. They want to feel all of that. They just, need somebody to say what they believe.
They say rap is crap, right? They used to say that when we were younger. It's kind of like how it is that thing where they're like, rap is crap, but now they're like, well, when they rap for us, it's actually like good. We actually love it. And it is people that grew up with rap.
Yeah.
So you kind of understand.
It's been the popular thing forever. For people that are like, ever since the 90s, it's been the most popular songs. It's been the songs of the summer. It's ruled pop culture for, decades now.
Yeah. So Jason's going to pop up on the screen this video. And we're going to check out our first congressional rap.
Okay.
You can see it, Brett?
I can.
He looks good, right?
He looks like a car salesman.
So he's standing...
He looks like a Republican congressperson.
He's standing on his yard sign, by the way. This is the yard sign. The famous...
19,000 square foot Trump sign.
Yeah, so here we go. We're getting a drone shot out.
Okay. Yeah, the drone flew in and he animated it or something. Right.
Oh, God, it's so big. It is so huge.
Is there music playing?
There should be.
I don't hear any.
Jason, is our music playing here?
There's no music coming across.
Okay, hold on. Maybe it rolls out, but I'm pretty sure there should be music playing.
Oh, it's a fucking portrait of Trump.
No, it's not. The music isn't playing. We're not getting the audio.
For sure.
Something on your end, that's for...
It's something on my... Oh, I'll fix it in 1/2 second. All right, here we go. We're starting over. That's a flub. You can call that a flub.
Flub.
Here we go.
Flub.
Well, it seems that the entire world is saying, let's go, Brandon, crazy. JR, you're an artist with that big, beautiful yard, and you did a fantastic job.
Wait,
I want you to get J360.
Wait, he paid a Trump impersonator to...
No, Trump did. This is Trump.
That's not Trump.
Well, Trump tweeted about him. So maybe he paid a Trump impersonator to say the thing that Trump said.
He did, yes.
Yeah,
that definitely
I guess
wasn't
didn't
Trump.
Sound much like Trump. I'd love to hear what the chat thought.
It sounded like a guy talking through his nose.
All right, here's the song.
And Savannah Craven, the three of you can get together and make a big, beautiful song for the people to hear. It'll be a musical masterpiece, believe me.
Let's go, Brandon. Gas prices high.
Oh, auto-tunes like crazy.
And they used to hate auto-tune, dude.
It makes it easy.
Let's go, Brandon. Gas prices high. First line.
Tax twice as high. Let's go, Brandon. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. Shout out to Kyrie Irving. I'm praying for you as well.
This guy rules.
So relentlessly just make money, grifter, lie. I mean, you don't have to be good. You don't have to do anything when you rap like this.
No, this is why this is perfect for them. Because it is just saying, you can say whatever you want here.
Yeah.
There's nothing You know what I mean? You can say pretty much whatever
Right.
you want because it doesn't have to rhyme. It doesn't have to have really any
Right.
thing to it. And the auto-tune even kind of keeps it like in beat.
Right,
Like, it
right.
works with the beat too.
Sounds like an instrument.
Yeah.
Cancel culture, make America Florida and give Georgia Herschel walk.
He's got the Amish beard too. He's got no mustache, all chin strap.
I haven't seen a beard like that since the fucking... It's gotta be 2002.
Yeah. It was...
It's a wild looking beard, everybody that's listening to this.
Did not take off. Yeah, he's just got like Jedediah shit going on. Like he's that conservative that he's like Amish.
Yeah.
Georgia Herschel walk. Let's go brand. Shout out to DeSantis. Props to Governor Abbott. Let's go brand. Number one in all genres. Shout out to Bryson Gray. Surrounded by piranhas. They don't want us like Nirvana. They don't want us like Oprah. In the field like Loza. Megala Costa Nostra on a political roller coaster.
He's just in a... He rented one of like a studio space that has a white background, and he like didn't like CGI anything in. He just has a white background. Just two people like standing in the void of space, in just a white, completely white nebula. They're like the middle of it.
I'm trying to figure out. Well, they love that. Like it's very
right.
white.
It's very white. I get it. That makes sense.
It's a symbolic thing. Why? I'm trying to figure out like what the video is. Because you got this guy in a referee shirt.
Yeah.
And you got a little girl holding a sign that says the NBA needs Kyrie Irving because he's anti-vax.
Okay, that's what it is.
That's why.
Is that what, did he stop playing or something?
Well, they wouldn't let him play.
Okay.
At home.
Right.
For the first part of the season. He was able to play in away games.
Yes.
But they wouldn't let him play
in more
at
free
home.
countries.
Yeah.
More free states.
Texas and Florida.
Yeah.
But they were letting him play then. I don't exactly. I think it's also funny. Another funny thing about this is the girl that is wearing a jersey on here is wearing it backwards so you can see the name Irving.
Yeah. She's doing the crisscross.
Well, no, because she wants you to know it's a Kyrie Irving jersey.
Also, in various parts of this, he's in prison. He's rapping from jail. No January 6th stuff yet, but maybe he feels like he's in political prisoner.
He said cancel culture.
Okay.
So, yeah.
On a political roller coaster.
Who's he sound like?
Coca-Cola, they want me to be less white.
That I didn't like. I did not like that line. I don't mess with Coca-Cola. They want me to be less white.
No.
You.
Absolutely not.
Them to stop looting targets and stealing from Best Buy. Y'all built like Lizzo, sweating Crisco. Joe left our soldiers in Afghanistan. Them patriots ain't have a chance. Blow in the field. Run up, get your head stuck. Been 100 Trump rallies. Shoot, I even met Trump.
Oh! He's been to 100 Trump rallies. Shoot. He even met Trump, right? And he didn't curse. He said shoot. I love it.
Yeah, he said shoot.
I love it. I'm into it. I'm into a guy that, like, this guy has face tattoos. Right? And
does he?
Yeah. You can see up in the corner of his face, I think he has some kind of a tear or something. Like, it's in that area. So this guy even has face tattoos. He ain't fucking around.
Tough guy.
TVs, I've been around some GD. I want to bridge the culture gap. And when the vultures
around some
attack,
GDs, he's claiming Gangster Disciple.
Hey, Nicki Minaj, you the finest female that rap. We all know.
That he just threw in there that I found very interesting. I know it's because Nicki Minaj said the anti-vax stuff. Her cousin's balls blew up. But I do like the fact that he says, Nicki Minaj, you were beautiful. Like, it sounds like he just was stopping real quick to let you know Nicki Minaj is hot.
Yeah, it feels like he's got 3 seconds that if she should happen to see it, he wants to let her know.
That's so
Got
funny.
your back. Hey, Nicki Minaj, you the finest female that rap. We all know Cardi is whack. Even
What?
Oh, yeah.
He took a side?
Well, yeah, because Cardi B bought Bernie. She was into Bernie Sanders.
That's
right?
true.
That's why she's whack.
Yeah.
And that's why Nicki Minaj is the finest female that raps.
Makes sense.
This guy dropping celebrity names. Like, nobody loves celebrities more than Republicans. Nobody. I mean, most of this 1 minute and 30 seconds of this song so far has been him saying the names of celebrities that he likes. Dave Chappelle, Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I mean, they are mostly obsessed with, like, what the culture is, maybe, of, like, everyone should be Star Spangled Banner and like freedom fighters for America and patriots and shit.
Yeah, I think that what they're obsessed with is like they turn on the TV and they think that everything on TV is liberal. Right?
Yeah.
Everything they see on television, they think is some liberal thing. And they're largely true. I mean, when you watch like TV, a lot of times it's coming from that sort of perspective. And I think when somebody says something that they like or does something that they like, they're just fucking down for life, man.
Sure.
That's how Ronald Reagan and Trump both got elected. It was just like they see a famous person. They want to not be impressed by famous people. But they see a famous person that has their beliefs, and they just can't believe it. It's just so exciting.
Yeah.
And it is, the left does it a lot, too. Like, you'll be on Twitter, and you'll see people being like, this movie's leftist. That isn't at all. You know,
Sure.
like, the Fast and the Furious is a leftist series, and it's like, no, it's just a series of movies.
Right.
They didn't make it thinking about socialism, you know?
Vladimir Putin view this as insanity. He say the West is doing crimes against humanity. Let's go, Brandon. Gas prices high. Let's go, Brandon. Tax twice as high. Let's go, Brandon. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. Shout out to Kyrie Irving. I'm praying for you as well.
I love this song.
Brandon. Cancel culture. Make America Florida and give Georgia Herschel Walker.
Make America Florida and make Georgia and give Georgia to Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker's a Republican running in Georgia for the governor. And he's a Trump guy. So he's saying give Georgia to Herschel Walker. Make him the dictator of Georgia.
Sure.
I think I've never heard it mentioned that way. Like when you're talking about getting when you're talking about getting somebody elected, just saying give
Hand it
a
over.
state to a guy.
Give him the keys.
Yeah, no, this is yours actually. You can have this whole thing.
Yeah, like those Republican governors in Michigan that sold all that Flint water pipe away.
I will say this. I'm just going to say this as like culturally. I could really thrive if America was Florida.
You think so?
I think I would thrive in that situation, you know? That's the kind of shit. I mean, we're Ohio guys anyway. It's Ohio and Florida.
No. I heard recently a report back that like Ohio's way nicer and people in Florida are just fucking rude asses.
Oh, I believe it. I believe it. Trust me.
You couldn't last there. People are too confrontational.
I mean,
do what they
I'm
want.
rude, too.
No, you would fold.
I'm quietly
You'd
rude.
fold to Florida.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I heard they're assholes.
Shout out to DeSantis. Props to Governor Abbott. Let's go, Brandon.
Crisis at the border, Joe and Biden terrorists. In America, we all Americans minus your heritage. Joe said I ain't black, then he defunded the black college. Those that lack knowledge, slavery was abolished by
Okay. For those that lack knowledge, slavery was abolished. Okay?
Yeah.
Republicans. Joe was down with Jim.
China Joe gotta go. She's holding a sign that says China Joe gotta go. And I gotta be honest with you. I didn't even know he was China Joe. I've never heard China Joe. And Mancow hates China. More than anything in the world. He hates them.
With the Grandmaster.
That boy got clan status.
Yeah, I don't. In Florida, I have to say Florida. That's where they're like doing the don't say gay shit. They're like the worst of the worst.
True. Maybe it's just warm there. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of warm and kind of trashy.
If the whole country was
I
warm
guess,
and
I would
trashy,
say.
that would be
If
nice.
the whole country was warm and trashy, that wouldn't be the worst.
That
thing.
would be an upgrade.
Yeah.
Met Barack, was impressed because he talked proper. Any other time he would have thought a black guy was an armed robber.
Okay.
Some sort of thief.
She's right. She's right about that. Our congressman comes up last
Under the tree. Or some sort of thief, cargo ship stuck at sea. Thanks to DeSantis Claus, we might have guests under the tree.
Let's go, Brandon.
All right, our congressman comes up last. This is our congressman about to go.
Gas
Oh,
prices
this is.
high.
He's our guy. The last rapper is our
Gas prices
guy.
high.
Oh.
Let's go, Brandon.
So low energy. I mean, you have to have a certain amount of pride in what you're doing, and I think that if you're doing music, I think you need to have the energy.
Yeah.
Like, you need to sell it.
He's the least...
Convince me you're having fun, and this music is for people that have fun and that are living free and that like are killing it in life.
He's the least charismatic guy in the video.
I believe that.
To be honest. Look at him. I mean,
Kyrie Irving, I'm praying for
Backwards
you as
jersey is so
well.
sorry.
the backwards jersey, she couldn't stand like looking over her shoulder. So like maybe what I would do, okay, is I would shoot her from the front with the Kyrie Irving jersey, right? And then maybe I have her like pretend she's shooting a basketball.
Sure.
Turn around and shoot it like, oh, check it out, I'm Kyrie Irving. I don't put the shirt on backward.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, backwards never worked out.
Well, and it's not crisscross. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
man.
it didn't catch on.
It never happened either.
Like,
it never happened after that.
Clothes are made to be worn one way, one direction.
Right. And it didn't even really happen then. I knew a few guys that would wear...
That tried it.
That do the baseball jerseys backwards, but it's so uncomfortable because they're not made to be worn backwards, and it's like
all in your fucking throat. Yeah,
it's like wearing a fucking turtleneck. It was terrible, and wearing your jeans backwards.
No,
the old people would be like, "How you gonna take a piss?" And they were fucking right.
Yeah,
they were fucking right about that. I just didn't want to admit it. You know.
Go Brandon. Cancel culture, make America Florida and give Georgia Herschel walk. Let's go Brandon.
Here he comes. Look at him, he's getting excited now. He's getting amped.
Let's go Brandon.
Here we go.
They wanna make us woke and force us to get the vax. Taking pictures with the Pope will get us to all relax.
They think pictures of the Pope will get us to all relax. Like, I know this guy's gonna be. He's gonna win.
You think so?
I don't want him to because I don't want like his policies. But wow, this guy in Congress would be something else, dude.
Yeah, this sounds like he's just reading at a meeting.
He's not
like he's
very
reading
good.
meeting minutes.
He's not. Do you think now? Let me ask you this: do you think that Trump mentioned him, and then these guys, Savannah Craven and J360, were like, "We got to get him on this thing,"
I mean,
and he wasn't even a rapper.
Right, exactly. I think it's probably a DM situation where it's like, hey man, I'm doing the new wave of conservatism. It's hip hop, man. Like, let's collab. You know, I have a computer program that can make anybody sound like they can rap.
Yes. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have never seen somebody more uncomfortable to be on camera. He doesn't want to dance.
No, he's very uncomfortable moving his hips, his arms. He has no energy. He doesn't believe anything he says. It's like he's just reading off a teleprompter.
J360 and Savannah Craven are natural.
They went for it. They tried.
They're dancing. They're having fun. I mean, right now we got to pause. Samantha Craven looks like cool. Like,
right.
I mean, she's wearing a Let's Go Brandon shirt.
Busting a
extremely
pose.
uncool. But they both look sort of cool. This guy, our guy, he's just like it's nervous. He looks nervous.
It's so weird to have that beard with no mustache because it looks like he's wearing like a space helmet or something. You know, where like just it covers all your skin except for your little face. Like he's fucking RoboCop. He looks like RoboCop.
That beard. Why do you get that beard? What's the fucking who told him?
Jedediah, man.
Because he can grow. If you can grow that beard, you can grow this stuff.
Yeah, you can get it to
get
connect.
The mustache area.
He's afraid of his connection isn't tight. He doesn't have a strong enough like mustache connection, I guess.
I've never seen a chin strap. I haven't seen a chin strap like that. I can't tell you. I'm trying to think of a famous chin strap guy because there had to be one.
But I feel like a regular chin strap, the mustache part is just finessing. Like if you can pull the mustache up and over, that's showing off even more.
It's thin too. That's the other thing about a chin strap. It's like it's shaved. Sort of thin.
Yeah, like a little outline.
This guy's got a bushy,
long
mane. He looks like a mane, like a lion, but he's probably bald on top, like me.
Sure.
You know, like his hair grew the wrong way, like mine.
That dementia is a serious disease. But come on, man. Squeeze your cheeks when you sneeze. Joe is focused on ice cream.
Wait, what does that mean?
I can go back. I'm trying to figure Joe is focused on ice cream. This guy is one of the worst rappers I've ever heard. I'm serious.
Dead Boy Casket said Buzz Lightyear looking ass.
Not to poke fun at dementia is a serious disease. But come on, man. Squeeze your cheeks when you sneeze.
So,
wait,
he said
what?
Joe Biden has dementia, but he doesn't want to poke fun at dementia because it's a serious disease.
Right. But just
So-
some advice, like clench up when you
Yeah,
sneeze because you're farting everywhere.
You're farting poop all over your
Yeah,
underwear.
that's true. Okay, that's a valid point he has there.
I mean, he could be. I like the idea that you're like, I'm going to make fun of him for having dementia, but I'm going to let everybody know that I think dementia is very serious. And
Yeah, I'm a politician. I take it seriously.
He probably does have like a lot of
He's
senior citizen fans,
Right.
You know, like where it's like I don't want to make fun of
He's
dementia.
concern trolling.
Yeah.
I was focused on ice cream while he's crapping his pants. We want our dreams and our freedom. This is our last chance. This the hill we die on. This the line in the sand. We leave no one on the battlefield. United we stand. Divided we fall. We need to finish the wall. They want to raise all our taxes. We done with them all.
Is this on Spotify?
What?
Is this on Spotify?
I don't know. It's called "Let's Go Brandon Save America,"
I gotta give it the car test.
and
It's got me rocking. I feel like I can give it the car test.
It's J360, Savannah Craven, and J.R. Majewski for Congress. This is a Congress commercial.
This
for
is a
guy.
Congress person.
This
Yeah.
is gonna be a Congress person, I think.
Yeah. Hey, squirrely white people. One of us is running, right?
Dude, he does. That's a thing, right? Like, he reminds me of like 75 people I grew up with.
No. Yeah, man, I mean, I got this office job, but I still do dirt. Like, I still do dirt. Like, when I'm off the clock, I keep it gangsta.
He reminds me of 65% of guys I went to high school with.
Yeah.
With destiny, take the house in 22. Just try to put a mask on me. You'll see red, white, and blue.
Oh, he said, just try to put a mask on me. You'll see red, white, and blue.
When he knocks you out.
Everything won't goes to but let's go. Brandon's a hit.
Let's go, Brand.
All right. Well, now we just got to do
Gas prices
that.
high.
Let's go, Brandon.
Tax twice as high. Let's go, Brandon.
Dude, I'm trying to figure out the person who is jamming this.
I mean, it's
cancel culture, make
a very delusional person.
Who?
It sounds like the music. I mean,
You can take it off the screen, Jason. I'm gonna stop it because all they do is the chorus for the rest of the song. But it's got 1,133,016 views since the 5th of November last year.
okay.
I'm gonna look up J.R. Majewski on YouTube again to see if there's more stuff. Maybe if he has a solo jam, we can get out there. But this guy, I think, is a guy. I think we're going to be having to keep track of this guy.
Majewski?
J.R. Majewski for Congress. Yeah, it doesn't say. Yes. Okay. Well, that is a new guy, J.R. Majewski.
Yeah, welcome to the club.
Not enough rappers in our.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been very light on rappers in our guys section, and
There's a few. I mean, Minion Death
Kid
Call
Rock.
has covered like Adam Calhoun. He's a guy. Tom McDonald. Tom McDonald just had that. Did you read that Rolling Stone article with Tom McDonald?
I did not know they covered Tom McDonald.
Oh, get into it. It's very weird.
Is he like? Is he like cool?
He's completely terrified of COVID. He makes them wear masks and stay like 30 feet away from him, like and meet in the backyard. And he's really on this kick of like, I'm not conservative. I'm just trying to have a discussion. Like he claims like
Oh.
he's not anti-abortion and all kinds of shit. He's such a coward. He's such a weird fucking person. I recommend it.
Yeah,
You should listen to the Minion Death Call episode.
I will. I can't believe that. The COVID stuff is really weird because like, and I do understand him in a way though, because I've met a ton of people that I would consider conservatives that think they're apolitical.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
Like most of
They
them
think
think
that-
they're apolitical because you don't want to be called conservative. Like it sucks
Yeah.
to be called that.
Right. They're just
know?
like they're just always like devil's advocate to the point of like, well, what about the conservative point of view? We have to consider that, and it's like, no, we fucking don't.
I don't
We need
want
to
to.
trample it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to.
I don't want to
that.
consider it at all. It's fucking dumb shit.
But the COVID stuff is really weird to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Like, I don't.
His
I wouldn't believe that at all.
his girlfriend is immunocompromised in some way, and so they take it like super serious.
But is he doing concerts?
Yeah, he's still doing stuff, and
he doesn't
she
take
she
it back.
kind of kicked it. She was she was like made the restrictions higher. Like while they were doing the interview, they filmed them doing a music video, and so she like made it even more stricter for him.
That's nuts, man. You just think that none of the conservatives are worried about it at all.
Yeah.
The way I think. Oh, shit.
And so she
Sorry about that. That was a flub. I had to just slam my computer
flubs.
shut. Yeah.
2 flubs per show.
Yeah.
2 scoops of flubs in every show.
Yeah. We got flubs. We got 100 grand. We got a bunch of stuff in. We really packed some stuff in this episode.
I want a 100 grand wrapper that just says Street Fight in the font and everything.
I love 100 grand.
I'm with you. I'm so glad you came around to old people candy.
It's just a weird candy bar that you never hear somebody talking about.
Because there's no goddamn cartoon bear or something that they could eat.
No commercials.
There's no commercials. I mean, also, like, 100 grand used to be like $1 million when that shit came out. Now people are like, oh, I'd buy a car. Like, I'd buy one car. If I had 100 grand, I'd buy one car. That's how most teenagers feel these days, about 100 grand.
Yes, absolutely. And even then, like, a car's probably going to be 100 grand if Brandon stays in office.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's Street Fight.
I'll just get a G-Wagon, and then I'm done with my 100 grand. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on Sunday night. We have Rax and Rax from the Low Culture Boil podcast and Sean from the Antifada coming this Sunday to take calls with us. So call in. It's going to be like a drum circle type situation.
It's going to be good times.
Just people popping off.
People playing with my Legos.
Legos are going to be out in the open for people to kind of experiment with.
Yep.
And then if you want more of what we do, head to patreon.com/StreetFightRadio. Get some bonus shows. Hito Bread is canceled. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. I think I made a mistake. I'm not an expert at any of that stuff, so I don't want to do it.
The B-Dog is... There's going to be a Holy Boys this week. Maybe next week, too. We might be doing a whole series. We're still figuring it out. But there will always be stuff. I promise that much. Me and Chris even talked about doing a Shocktober soon.
All right. There's always stuff at patreon.com/StreetFightRadio. Peace.